Welcome back to The Real Grind, guys. Super excited to be here and bringing more real estate stories while we sip on a great cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
Italo,
Absolutely.
today I'm super excited because the guest today, she's one of, when Dad and I bought our first apartment complex, she was one of our partners, part of our team. So we're super excited to bring her here today. But first, let's get the show started.
Waking up to success, now we're getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on gourmet coffee, the real grind. This is the real grind. Let's go.
With over 10 years of experience in real estate, she's a co-founder of Starboard Equity Investing. She's a full-time multifamily syndicated asset manager and investors with over 2,000 multifamily units. Rebecca Moore! This one is special because you're special for us. So special. I want to first remember sitting in my living room, pulling our hairs off. I was like, how are we going to do this? And now we did it. And now we go. How are you? But Rebecca, thank you so much for coming to the show. I've been wanting to bring you for the longer time because you have such a beautiful story.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
And Rebecca, I want to, but first, like, I don't even know, like, your beginnings, where you're from. Talk a little bit about your beginnings.
Okay, sure. Well, I was born in LA, moved to San Diego to go to grad school,
All right.
where I became a psychologist. And of course, as most people know, I then married a sailor because I was there in San Diego.
Yeah.
And so that was the beginning. And then we found out about multifamily.
Right. And Rebecca, when you were a kid, was that your dream to be a psychologist?
No, not necessarily.
How did that came about?
Oh, that's actually a really cool story. The fact that I was going to school actually for a history degree, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll be a lawyer, maybe I'll curate a museum, something along those lines. And then I met a man named Adrian Rain, he was a professor there at USC, and was studying the brains of murderers. And when I went into his office, he had Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and all these,
All
crazy
those
movies,
crazy, Yeah.
And I thought, that's what psychologists can do. And so I started working for him, doing research, and did my dissertation all on psychopathy, which is a psychopath.
Yeah.
So.
Man, it's crazy how this studies and what do they see? There's a different pattern on the people
So specifically on the brains of people who, let's say, murder.
Yeah.
They have less of a prefrontal cortex. And
Really?
that's where we make our executive decisions.
Yeah.
And so therefore, having less of that, you might be more inclined
to make poor decisions.
Yes. Excellent. Yes. Uh-huh.
Wow. That's crazy. And so you went to school and you graduated, and then what did you do after that? Did you went straight to patients, and what the clientele was it? Was it to work in that kind of industry or?
Yes. Specifically, I worked with, juveniles who had some really, really amazing backgrounds, meaning that they had done a lot of wrong. And then I progressed to the state system. So meaning I worked at San Quentin, and I worked at another level 4, what they call jail.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that is pretty dicey. And that's where I got my start, though, in the forensic psychology. And then switched over when I met Warren to Navy psychology.
Navy psychology. Totally different animal.
Yes.
Different problems too, I bet.
Yes.
Yes. That's awesome. And so you consider yourself, because for psychotherapists, like, do you feel you're a good listener? I'm sure you are, right?
I believe I am.
Because I remember when I did therapist with my therapist at the time, I didn't even think I needed it. I just went to help somebody, and then I got hooked because, like, it was so good to share without a judgmental. And then, she didn't give me any advice, but just by you, sometimes she framed you in the right way you kind of answer your own questions.
Yes. Yes, that
Is that the
yeah, it's
power
awesome.
of a good therapist, huh?
Yes, yes. The answers are all in you. We just need to help you find it.
Amazing. I feel like I'm analyzing right now. Let me start sharing my. So, do you still practice today, or
Yes, very little. I have about 7 patients that I
okay?
see virtually,
Mm-hmm.
and I just enjoy it.
Yeah,
And these people have been with me for quite a while, and so that's a really the art. The, let me say it this way: it is so great to be able to do something that I love because I love it,
yeah.
rather than for a paycheck.
Absolutely. Man, that's awesome. I totally relate because my music career, right? I
Hmm.
used to love the art, but I hated the business. You know what I mean? And now, to play when I want because I don't need it. And then the time that I needed that paycheck was not as fun as it is right now. And I just play whenever the hell I want.
Yes, yes.
So I related that. That's really cool.
Hmm.
And well, and I want to talk a little bit about the real estate stuff, but hold on, I want to ask a little bit more about you. So, and I never thought about moving LA or not now, but at the time, like you just stay there. Was San Diego, and then you went to some other place, right? Or you always staying in that area of San Diego?
Yes. So, because of Warren's work,
Yeah.
he was assigned to the Joint Chiefs of Staff in the Pentagon, and so we went and we moved to
Oh, you moved
Virginia.
too.
Yeah, I did
That's
move
right.
too on that one, on that move, and so that was fun for about 2 years, and then he was assigned back to San Diego.
That's awesome. Have you ever been in one of those? I'm sure he took you to tour the big ships and all that stuff, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, I had a lot of privilege to be able to see so many of our.
So the reason I say this because I am saving. I want to have Warren here in one episode just for him to share such amazing stories. I had the opportunity of have an amazing conversation with him. Man, we just sit down, and how we found it one time is like a group of people just listening to him, a bunch of stories, and he's going through. It's like really, really cool. But I want to go now to the real estate part. But before, guess what time it is?
What time is it?
It's coffee time.
There you go. How's it going, Rebecca? Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks
It's
for-
great to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too. Thanks for coming to the show
Of course.
and give me the chance to share a cup of coffee with you.
Absolutely wonderful.
Definitely excited to do it. And so what we have here today, it's something that is a little different, but at the same time the same than what I had before. It's called Blue Bottle Coffee. These guys, they have a subscription too. So the guys from Trade, they do a subscription. These guys, they have a subscription too, but I didn't get this from a subscription. Where did you get this from?
Oh yeah, that's a nice one. I didn't know you were gonna feature this coffee. So I told her that okay, my sister-in-law gave me this coffee, and she gave me a big hug. Like people like just they want to gift us, they bring us coffee.
Yeah.
It's a new thing. And she did. Doris, you watching? Thank you so much for giving this coffee. I actually tried it prior to the show, but I can't wait to try it again because this was really good. So I love you, sis. Mwah.
And I made it differently too. So let's see how that's gonna affect. So from 1 to 10, how much of a coffee person are you?
I would say a 3.
A 3.
Yeah, so not
Not
really into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know very much.
Do you
You
like
guys
tea?
are going to teach me. No, I do drink coffee.
But okay, she loves wine. I just remember that. She
Oh.
loves wine. And look, a good coffee is like wine, because you actually told me about wine. She said this to me once. She was like, okay, so when you get an apple and you splice the apple in half,
Uh-huh.
and you actually get a little bit of the dark the aerates, when you get
Uh-huh.
contact with air, it's the same with the wine. When you open the wine, so you get a little bit of the sweetness of it. So, okay, and now Rebecca is the same thing with coffee.
Same concept, yeah.
Same concept. When you get good coffee, like for example, our coffee in Brazil, my dad goes and handpick the cherries, and it's 100% gold. You'll be able to find notes in the coffee.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so I
we're gonna
hope you
try
like
this
it.
together. So let me just give this to Neander
Thank
right
you,
here.
brother.
So it's the same pretty much same idea as wine. You're gonna give it a good smell, and then we're gonna slurp and let the oxygen get in there, let it sit on your mouth a little bit, and then we swallow it. And then let's see.
You had to slurp.
Okay.
There you go.
There it is.
Very nice, you guys.
Do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Different than other coffees you had before?
Mm-hmm. Smooth though. This is not bitter.
Yeah. It's like there's actually sweet. This one is actually sweet. So you people say, oh man, it's like a tea, because they correlate coffee to that really bitter, and so this is like, it's really good. It has actually taste to it.
Yeah, and I made it different this time too. I used the Clever instead of a V60 because I wanted to get a little more of the floral out of it, and actually, I think it did.
So if you had to rate this from 0 to 10, what would you be your score?
I would definitely put this as an 8.
Really?
Much
All
better
right.
than my home coffee.
Oh. I just told one of our friends, if you need help with coffee, you have my number, you have my email, just like Italo, help me get the best coffee, or the best, like, what can I do to get like a good coffee? I'm here to help.
And it sucks because you get hooked into this kind of stuff, man, and then you're like, oh my God.
And
then
she
you
knows
end
it
up
'cause she
buying
likes
a
good wine.
grinder, and
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
probably knows, because Neander created a monster. We call it that. He created a monster with coffee. That's me, because I can't just drink coffee anywhere now. And that's probably bad that you like that with wine, right?
Yes.
So she understands me.
I remember we were on an event one time, and it's like they sent me to a gas station to buy it. It's like, I called Rebecca. It's like, Rebecca, I got this. What's the the cheapest one? It's just like, you have nothing else. Remember that time?
Yes, I do. That
And
was
she's
funny.
like, yeah, Manage or something. They have these old
I know what you're talking
cheap
about.
ones.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, Rebecca, that's
think it's
all I
Menage
have.
a
She's
Trois,
like, are you
something like
sure? Looking in the back, asked the guy. I was like, I'm sorry.
And that would probably be me, because I don't understand anything about wine. I know a couple like big names, but I don't know anything about wine like that at all. Like, I'm very dumb when it comes to wine. Like, they will say, like, I eat rocks when it comes to wine. Like, I'm so dumb about it. But I know that's probably gonna be one of those things, kind of like coffee too.
Yeah.
Like, once you try like a very good one, there's no going back.
We have
Yes,
a
it's
bottle. Go ahead.
Also, like having a friend that knows coffee and can teach you about coffee. I too had friends that were very much into wine, and they taught me.
Is that how you got started?
Mm-hmm.
Friends are there for good and bad. Make memories for sure. But Rebecca, I want to keep hearing your story. I was just telling Neander before the show, like, I've never been to LA, I've been to California with you. I went to Tahoe with you, but I never really experienced the California lifestyle and all that stuff. So very, very neat to hear from a person that actually was born there, lived there, and all that stuff. So thanks for sharing your story. And I'm gonna go back right there. Actually, give me a second. Let me grab you something. And this is for you. I'll trade you.
Okay.
There you go. So now in the mornings,
Oh.
you can have a little bit of the real grind there with you.
All right. This is awesome.
Awesome.
You
Good deal.
guys, thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
What a memory.
Right on. Well, once again, thank you so much. And
Let's go.
let's go.
Okay.
All righty.
Hey guys, real quick before we continue. So if you want to learn a little bit more how to get started and invest in real estate today, please go to their website, multifamilyempire.com. And if you also want to learn how to do the best cup of coffee in your own home, we're going to teach you a lot of tips and tricks. Go to multifamilyempire.com/the real grind. Let's get back to that interview. Rebecca, obviously you were very successful in your career. What was the moment that you start, I want to do real estate?
Warren had already bought a couple of houses in the places that he was stationed. And so as we were getting closer to his retirement, we were thinking, okay, what are we going to do with these houses that were in Virginia and Texas? And are we going to sell them to create our own retirement home? Retirement home, meaning the house that we would retire in. And then we thought, oh, well, maybe we should buy like a 4-plex, 6-plex, 8-plex or something. And so we went to a real estate event and met a person who was showing us, hey, you can syndicate larger buildings. So that was very intriguing, and we went ahead and signed up for that program, and it's been great ever since.
That's awesome. And what was your first property that you bought under the syndication model and as a
Yes. Okay. So the fun thing was that our investment group, our mentor, was out in Dallas here. And so I would fly back and forth to learn the area, to learn the syndication and everything that was taught. And I ended up finding a 94 door in Hurst, Texas. And that part of Texas, as many of you viewers might know, is really great for the school system. Yeah. And through our group, again, I was able to meet a partner who showed me all sorts of stuff, the inner workings of really how to underwrite, really how to know the market. And so I was just really lucky to have a great partner like that.
That's awesome, man. And now, what you up to now? How many deals have you guys been involved on?
Yeah, luckily, since then, we have 9 that we have acquired ourselves or with friends like you and Delia.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. And like you're full time on this, and obviously you transfer your passion from your work to this. And how does that feel? Like I'm sure you're very passionate about the multifamily industry.
Yes, it was like a challenge. This is something completely new to me. And what I was really thinking was, well, if these people can do it, I can do it. And I approached it a lot more like fun, which is an interesting mindset way to come about this, is if they can do it, I can do it. And so, yes, coming out here to Dallas from San Diego almost every other month was fun to start. It's hard work, but it was fun work because, again, it was a challenge. This is something new. This is something that I had no idea about. So I approached it as an enjoyable time, really.
Right. And what was the change to Dallas? Because I know majority of the business here, a lot of your deals are here in Dallas and in Texas overall. But tell me the truth. Do you like here? Okay, that took too long. We're gonna ask another question.
Yeah.
I know you because all your family's from LA stuff, right? So, but business wise, I guess is good.
Yeah, it has been really tremendous to be out here, to be able to look at the market even closer than before, to be able to be around my beautiful friends like yourself, and to be able to grow larger in our business.
Yeah.
And so, yes, my little heart, does go to see my family all the time, go back. But that's the luxury of the syndications, and that this business has brought me, is that I am able to go and do whatever I want to do when I want to do it.
That's so true. That is super true. And that's, I think, one of the reasons that, everybody goes to this business is for the freedom of time. However, like sometimes we get caught up on the weeds and stuff like that. And I feel like, especially now in the beginning, to build a business is hard. Like I feel our syndicators, they have to be a little bit extra attention to our properties due to market climate and such. But I truly believe that, we still have the freedom of, hey, if I want to be 3 weeks out, if I want to be a whole month out, it's okay. It's not gonna do anything. And let's talk about the partnership that we did it together. That was super cool. That Enclave is definitely our babies, and as a matter of fact, it's one of our best performing properties.
Yes, it's been great.
That property just being, on autopilot, it's been super great. I want to say, that we have a very solid staffing on site. That also makes a huge difference. But, I was very fortunate, Daddy and I, to be able to partner with you guys, that already had experience, that took us under, the wings and help us too. So definitely very grateful for everything.
It was a fun time. I was so pleased that you asked.
Yeah, it was fun time. It was very stressful for me because it was the first time, but still, I just very grateful for that time. And it was just the time flies. It's been what? It's gonna be 3 years. Holy shit! It's gonna be 3 years. Oh my
Yeah, how
God.
about that? Yeah, that was a wonderful property that you guys were able to sort out to find. And one of the reasons that, we got together is because I had worked with the same broker
Yep.
before, and that's where relationships make such a big deal. And having that for us, just a few syndications under our belt at that time,
Yeah.
to be able to come and hope to help you guys. That's sort of the great community that I think that you and I are in, is that it is all about helping others.
Absolutely.
The more you
Partnership.
give, the more you receive. And I just love giving.
I love it. I love it. And Rebecca, talk to me a little bit about Starboard.
Okay. Well, as you know, we started out as red and white investments.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was great. However, everybody's asking me, if I owned a winery. So
Yeah, people think I'm in the chess business, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you guys play chess? You cheat?
Yeah, so we switched it to Starboard Equity, which has a lot to do, of course, again with Warren. Starboard is the right side of the ship, and it is the privileged vessel. So when you're on the water, it has the right of way. And so we named it Starboard Equity because we want to give you the privileged way, meaning the right way to invest.
And then when you ask people that, hey, what does your brand means? And, we just had other interviews that I asked, and the true mean that the person expressed, man, is just, oh my God. And I'm reading a book now that amplify your message, or it talks about that, how people interpreted your stuff. And I think all of us should talk about more about our brand, who we are, man. That speaks a lot. Like, and I think you told me that before about Starboard, but like when you share that, it's so powerful, right? Or about correlating the Starboard with the investments and such. That's really cool.
Yes, really getting, people on the right path that we can help them, and that they are going to be able to depend on us also as the privileged vessel.
Right, absolutely. And now it's such a great thing of us when we do have, when our investors, right, to give them distributions and suck off the deal to return their money, that they're hardly worked for, and multiplying that is just as a great feeling. It's amazing. And what is your criteria nowadays for acquisitions?
Yes, we are definitely looking for more of newer build. Before it was the C-class,
Yeah.
it was, older buildings that we could really fix up. But now we're transitioning to more of the newer buildings, something, in the 2000s is best for us.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
That's the criteria now, Starboard. And how can people get in contact with you?
Great. Yes, we are at starboardequity.com. You can also find us on LinkedIn and Facebook and
Very
Instagram
cool.
too. Yeah.
Very cool. But Rebecca, the audience would like to know a little bit more about you. And we're going to ask you some questions so get to know you better.
Okay.
This is a spilling the beans. All right. Jet ski or ski boat?
Ski boat nowadays.
All right. Movies or books?
That's a tough one.
Movies nowadays.
Yes.
Texting or calling?
Texting.
That's a good one. Texting? Yeah. Weekends or holiday?
Holidays.
Holidays. Air Force or Navy?
Navy all the way.
Let's go. Would you rather start working late or leave work earlier? I know you don't because you're your own boss, but...
Yeah, I'm happy working late. Doesn't bother me.
All right. No, start working late or leave work earlier.
I'm sorry?
Start working late
Or leave work
or
early.
leave work earlier.
Oh, forgive me. So, yeah, I'd like to leave work early.
too. I'm my own boss, so just get the hell out of here. That's leaving you earlier. Bullying or buller?
Buller.
That completes the spin of the things. The last question was like, she's gonna be mad at me. No, but I there was another guest. There was like Ben or Mercedes-Benz or Ben. We love Warren. Warren, if you're watching, man, and we want to get you here. We love you too, my friend. You're a good friend of mine. Rebecca, if you could tell yourself, if you can speak to your younger self for advice of life, can be personal and business. Look at the camera now. What would you have to say?
Gotta think about that for a minute. That you can do anything you set your mind to. What I learned is that persistence always allows you to win. And so to never stop ever on your dreams.
Let's go. Rebecca, again, thank you so much. What a privilege to have to work with you in my first project. You know how special that is, Hey, it's not, every deal is special, but that one's just special because it was the first deal.
Yes, it always have a big place in your heart.
And I want to thank you and Warren, and so proud of you guys. I've seen your success. I've seen how you guys have grown, and as a couple, as in business and all that stuff. So I appreciate that. And I can tell you're my friend.
Yes, very much so, Neander. It's great to know you and Delia. We love you.
All right. Thank you for being on the show. This is The Real Grind.
And as always, thank you so much for watching The Real Grind. Again, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, your favorite podcast platform. So anywhere you look, you're gonna find us if you want to. Make sure you give us a little thumbs up on this video, give us a like on Instagram. We truly appreciate it. The coffee method that I use on this one is called the Clever. So I'm gonna be posting some stuff on our Instagram, so don't miss that out. And as always, thank you so much. And this is The Real Grind. Let's go.
Waking up to success. Now we're getting it started. This is the real grind. Everything you've been wanting, building an empire, no question. Talking about real estate, investing, making the millions, no stopping. While we sip on gourmet coffee. The real grind. This is the real grind. Let's go.